We have new details this afternoon about the 15-year-old who died in a shootout outside the Bogalusa homecoming football game, and that was Friday night.
Police say the teen is no stranger to investigators. Meanwhile, they're hoping newly released surveillance video will help them identify some persons of interest in the case. Natasha Robin has the story.
Just minutes left of the Bogalusa homecoming football game, marred by a gun battle.
And it's unfortunate that we have a shooting right outside the stadium.
15 to 20 shots fired between a 15-year-old and a few others. Bogalusa Police Chief Kendall Bullen says officers found the 15-year-old, now identified as Jerry Smith, lying on the ground with a gunshot wound.
EMS rode him to the hospital a block away. He was pronounced dead when he arrived at the hospital. The 15-year-old from Covington, Louisiana.
Police are hoping this surveillance video taken minutes before the shooting will help drum up leads. They need the public's help in identifying these three individuals as persons of interest in the case. Police say just moments after the shooting, the persons of interest are seen running away from the scene. And police say one of the men appears to throw a gun underneath a truck in the parking lot.
I'm disgusted that these individuals have came into our city uninvited and created havoc once again.
Bogalusa Mayor Wendy Perret is fed up with the violence unfolding. Chief Bullen says the 15-year-old victim was also one of the shooters.
The 15-year-old definitely fired a couple rounds, had a gun in his hand, still had the gun in his hand when the police arrived.
He says it's possible 15-year-old Jerry Smith fired first. Meanwhile, Chief Bullen says the teen's no stranger to his officers.
Maybe a week prior to this shooting, he was actually a suspect in a shooting that occurred in Oak Hill Housing Projects here in Bogalusa.
Last year, Chief Bullen says Smith led his officers on a chase in a stolen vehicle and then crashed the vehicle and ended up in the hospital.
We found out that he was wanted by probation and parole, and he had maybe left out of court proceedings in September in St. Tammany Parish.
The violence in Bogalusa has residents and public officials disgusted. This is the 7th homicide in a town that averages about 2 each year. And Chief Bullen says last night his officers answered 5 shooting calls.
It's frustrating. We deal with the same people over and over and over again. We're seeing more and more guns on the street. I have created a violent crime task force, which has done an amazing job in putting a lot of violent criminals in jail.
We need to stand together and not let these fools run things for us. They don't dictate, we dictate. We have more good people than we do bad people, and we'll outweigh them.
The Bogalusa police are actively working this case, but they say they need the public's help to solve it. If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers. In Bogalusa, Natasha Robin, Fox 8, Local First.